So thank you very much for inviting me to this nice program. Do you have any questions?
No, we have a question. There are many people who claims to be an avatar. So how to know who is real avatar? What are the symptoms of an avatar?
Very good question. What is first the meaning of an avatar? Avatar means someone who descends from the spiritual world to the material world. So someone who descends, there's only person who descends is God, who comes down. And therefore, his appearance is signifies as an avatar. And avatar are also many kinds, They are Leela avatar, they are Manvanta avatar, they are Guna avatar. Like that, there's so many avatars. So we have to know what are these avatars. So we can understand this, then yes, we get a better idea. So someone want to read this? Anyone? Any volunteers?
I'll read through.
Yeah, please.
There are incarnations that control the material qualities, Gunavataras, incarnations associated with the reign of each Manu, Manvantara Avataras, incarnations in different millenniums, Yugavataras, and incarnations of empowered living entities, Shaktyavesh Avataras. The Gunavataras are Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. The avatars associated with the reign of each Manu, known as Manvantara Avataras, are listed as follows in Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, chapters 1, 5, and 13. Yajna, Vibhu, Satyasena, Hari, Vaikuntha, Ajita, Vamana, Sarvabhauma, Rishabha, Vishwaksena, Dharmasetu, Sudhama, Yogeshwara, and Brihadbhanu. Altogether, these are 14 in number, and of these, Yajna and Vamana are also counted among the Leela avatars. All these Manvantara incarnations are sometimes called Vaibhava avatars. The 4 Yuga avatars are Shukla, white in Satya Yuga, Rakta, red in Treta Yuga, Shyama, dark blue in Dwapara Yuga, and generally Krishna, black, but in special cases Pita, yellow, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga. The Shaktyavesh avatars are categorized into forms of divine absorption, Bhagavad Avesha, such as Kapila Deva, Rishabhadeva, and number 2, divinely empowered forms, Shaktyavesh, of whom 7 are foremost. Shesha Naga in the Vaikuntha world. If you could kind of scroll. empowered for the personal service of the Supreme Lord, Swasevana Shakti. Number 2, Anantadeva, empowered to bear all the planets within the universe, Bhudharana Shakti. Number 3, Lord Brahma, empowered with the energy to create the cosmic manifestation, Srishti Shakti. Number 4, Chatussana, or the Kumaras, specifically empowered to distribute transcendental knowledge, Jnana Shakti. 5, Narada Muni, empowered to distribute devotional service, Bhakti Shakti. Number 6, Maharaj Prathu, specifically empowered to rule and maintain the living entities, Palana Shakti. And number 7, Parashurama, specifically empowered to cut down rogues and demons, Dushta Damana Shakti. There are innumerable incarnations of Krishna, and there is no possibility of counting them. We can simply indicate them by giving the example of the moon and the branches of a tree. O learned Brahmanas, just as hundreds and thousands of small rivulets issue from great reservoirs of water, innumerable incarnations flow from Sri Hari, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the reservoir of all power. In the beginning, Krishna incarnates himself as the Purusha avatars or Vishnu incarnations. These are of 3 types. Vishnu has 3 forms called Purushas. The first, Mahavishnu, is the creator of the total material energy, Mahat. The second is Garbhodakshayi, who is situated within each universe. And the third is Kshirodakshayi, who lives in the heart of every living being. He who knows these 3 becomes liberated from the clutches of Maya. Krishna has unlimited potencies, out of which 3 are chief: willpower, the power of knowledge, and the creative energy. The predominator of the willing potency is Lord Krishna, for by his supreme will, everything comes into existence. In willing, there is a need for knowledge, and that knowledge is expressed through Vasudeva. There is no possibility of creation without thinking, feeling, willing, knowledge, and activity. The combination of the supreme will, knowledge, and action brings out the cosmic manifestation. Lord Sankarshana is Lord Balaram. Being the predominator of the creative energy, he creates both the material and the spiritual world. The original Sankarshana, Lord Balarama, is the cause of both the material and the spiritual creation. He is the predominating deity of egotism, and by the will of Krishna and the power of the spiritual energy, he creates the spiritual world, which consists of the planet Goloka Vrindavana and the Vaikuntha planets. Although there is no question of creation as far as the spiritual world is concerned, the spiritual world is nonetheless manifested by the supreme will of Sankarshana. The spiritual world is the abode of the pastimes of the eternal spiritual energy. Gokula, the supreme abode and planet, appears like a lotus flower that has 1,000 petals. The world of that lotus is the abode of the Supreme Lord Krishna. This lotus-shaped supreme abode is created by the will of Lord Ananta. In this way, my Lord, you appear in various incarnations as a human being, an animal, a great saint, a demigod, a fish, or a tortoise, thus maintaining the entire creation in different planetary systems and killing the demonic principles. According to the age, O my Lord, you protect the principles of religion. In the age of Kali, however, you do not assert yourself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore you are known as Tri Yuga, or the Lord who appears in 3 yugas. As the Lord appeared just to maintain Lord Brahma from the attack of Madhu and Kaitava, he also appeared to protect the great devotee Prahlad Maharaj. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to protect the fallen souls of Kali Yuga. There are 4 yugas or millenniums: Satya, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali. In all the yugas but Kali Yuga, the Lord appears in various incarnations and asserts himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But although Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appears in Kali Yuga, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he never asserted himself as such. On the contrary, whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was addressed as being as good as Krishna, he blocked his ears with his hands, denying his identity with Krishna because he was playing the part of a devotee. Lord Chaitanya knew that in Kali Yuga there would be many bogus incarnations pretending to be God, and therefore he avoided asserting himself as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is accepted as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, however, in many Vedic literatures, especially in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 5, Text 32. In Kali Yuga, intelligent men worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is always accompanied by his associates such as Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhara, and Srivasa. The entire Krishna consciousness movement is based on the principles of the Sankirtana movement inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, one who tries to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the Sankirtana movement knows everything perfectly. He is Sumedhas, a person with substantial intelligence.
So this is how we understand an avatar, you know. An avatar means is God himself. But he comes for, actually, wherever God comes, he comes for this purpose, no? This is the purpose he comes. Parthanaya sadhunam vinasa cha duskritam dharma samstapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Can you read? Hello?
To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. And dushkritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or dushkritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well-cultured. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons Ravana and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees, who are always harassed by the demoniac. The demon harasses the devotee, even though the latter may happen to be his kin. Although Prahlad Maharaj was the son of Hiranyakashipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devaki, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kamsa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted only because Krishna was to be born of them. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than kill Kamsa, but both were performed simultaneously. Therefore, it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita of Krishnadas Kaviraj, the following verses, Madhya Leela, chapter 20, text 263 and 264, summarize these principles of incarnation. The avatara or incarnation of Godhead descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation. And the particular form of the personality of Godhead who so descends is called an incarnation or avatara. Such incarnations are situated in the spiritual world, the kingdom of God. When they descend to the material creation, they assume the name avatara. There are various kinds of avatars such as Purusha avatars, Guna avatars, Leela avatars, Shaktyavesha avatars, Manvantara avatars, and Yuga avatars, all appearing on schedule all over the universe. But Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord, the fountainhead of all avatars. Lord Sri Krishna descends for the specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavan pastime. Therefore, the prime purpose of the Krishna avatar is to satisfy his unalloyed devotees. The Lord says that he incarnates himself in every millennium. This indicates that he incarnates also in the age of Kali. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation in the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtana movement, congregational chanting of the holy names, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He predicted that this culture of Sankirtana would be broadcast all over the world, from town to town and village to village. Lord Chaitanya, as the incarnation of Krishna, the personality of Godhead, is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Mahabharata, and Bhagavatam. The devotees of Lord Krishna are very much attracted by the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya. This avatar of the Lord does not kill the miscreants but delivers them by his causeless mercy.
So this is how we must understand who is an avatar and who is not an avatar. Firstly, an avatar must be confirmed by the scriptures. Because without the confirmation of the scriptures, nobody can say, anyone can say he's an avatar. So the prime thing in Kali Yuga is that there is no avatar in Kali Yuga. That's why God is called Tri-Yugi. Tri-Yugi means he appears in only 3 yugas. So in Kali Yuga, he does not make an appearance and advertise himself as God. So that is a very important lesson that we must know. Because especially in Kali Yuga now, you got so many people claiming to be Bhagavan this and Baba that and this and that. And this way, people are confused. At one time, there are so many avatars. How is it possible? And the whole world is still in a big mess, So therefore, who is an avatar, who is not an avatar, we must know by the basis of studying the Shastra. For example, the prediction of Buddha is said, Buddha will come in the village of, where that? Vishnu Gaya. His mother's name is, what's the mother's name? Someone knows? Oh, Ajanya, is it?
Anjali. Prabhuji.
Anjanya, correct?
Anjali.
Yeah, Anjali. Oh, very good, Anjali. Huh? In the village of?
Province of Gaya.
Where she is came, I think in the border somewhere, no?
Province of Gaya.
Where? You will be coming somewhere, I think, I don't know the name of the place, but it's all mentioned in the scriptures, no?
Province of Gaya.
In Gaya.
Yeah.
You know the verse where it says that?
Yeah, 1:3:24.
1:3:24. Okay, 1:3:24. So you see here in this verse, this is predicted, Yeah. So you see, this is explained in the Shastra. You see, Kikateshu Bhavishyati. See, Anjana Sutta. Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Anjana in the province of Gaya, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful theists. So actually it comes to do a lot of animal protection, you know. So his incarnation is, this Bhagavatam is written millions of years ago, or at least 5,000 years ago, and it is already predicted. So there's no room for any, what we say, speculation. No? Out of the blue, someone comes and say, I'm an incarnation, an avatar. That doesn't work in Kali Yuga, especially because Kali Yuga, the Lord will never come and say, I am the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself who came. He doesn't exert himself, he says. Because anyone who call him God, he will cover his ears and say, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu, Sri Vishnu. You see the point? So God is not some kind of a cheap personality. You know, even in the case of Krishna, you can see Arjuna said, how is it possible that you are saying you are God? You seem to have appeared recently. You just came. All right. That how we can understand that you are, you know, I think it is here. See, Arjuna is asking this question. Arjuna said, the sun god Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed the sign to him? So he's asking this kind of doubt, you know. You say, you know, you are God and all that. How is it possible that you are speaking this, but you took birth recently? So the Lord replied, many, many births you and I have passed. I remember all of them. I remember all of them, but you don't. You cannot. See this point here? You cannot. So here there's a clear distinction of God, Krishna, who takes countless births and he remembers all of them. And we, although we are also taking so many births, but we don't remember. All of us don't even remember what we were last life, you know. But God, he's drawing a line. You see, he is different. You understand? Not only this, in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna asks to show his universal form, that he wants to see this universal form of the Lord, you know. Can you read this? So here the Lord saying his doubts are dispelled, but nevertheless, I have heard from you in detail about the appearance, disappearance of every living entity. I have realized your inexhaustible glories. O greatest of all personalities of supreme form, although I see you here before me in your actual position as you have described yourself, I wish to see how you have entered into this cosmic manifestation. I want to see that form of yours. So this is another way to challenge someone. Actually, what Arjuna is saying is that I want to see your Vishwarupa. So someone who's advertising as an avatar, he must be able to show his Vishwarupa. So this is very, important to test whether the person is really God or not. If you think that I can behold your cosmic form, O Lord, Master of all mystic power, then kindly show me that unlimited universal self. So if someone is saying is God, then you can challenge him and see whether he can prove to himself, to you, that whether he has this ability to show you the universal form. And look what Krishna says. Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, O son of Prita, see my opulence, hundreds of thousands of varied, divine and multicolored forms. So even before showing, Krishna is explaining what the form he is going to see. This is the proof that he is able to show that form. Oh, Bas of Bharata, see here the different manifestation of Adityas, Vasus, Rudra, Aswina Kumaras, and all other demigods. Behold, the many wonderful things which no one has ever seen or heard before. So he's describing that form before showing. And one more important thing he said, whatever you wish to see, behold at once in this body of mine, the universal form can show you whatever you now desire to see and whatever you may want to see in the future. Everything moving and non-moving is here completely in one place. In other words, anything and everything was revealed to Arjuna. Sitting in one place. The Lord did not have to go out of the chariot, stand up and open up his, shirt or something and then display. No. Sitting in that place, he showed everything. Now you see, the most important thing Krishna said is not that I can show I'm me showing the form. Actually, you cannot see me with your present eyes. This is the point. Therefore, to show you, I will give you divine eyes. Behold my mystic opulence. This is another important point. It is not because God wants to show we can see. We need divine eyes. In other words, our eyes with this material eyes is not possible to see God, That's not possible. This is very important. Can you read this purport? Someone can read? Hello?
A pure devotee does not like to see Krishna in any form except his form with two hands. A devotee must see his universal form by his grace, not with the mind, but with spiritual eyes. To see the universal form of Krishna, Arjuna is told not to change his mind, but his vision. The universal form of Krishna is not very important. That will be clear in subsequent verses. Yet because Arjuna wanted to see it, Lord gives him particular vision required to see that universal form. Devotees who are correctly situated in a transcendental relationship with Krishna are attracted by loving features, not by godless display of opulences. The playmates of Krishna, the friends of Krishna, and the parents of Krishna never want Krishna to show his opulences. They are so impressed in pure love that they do not even know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In their loving exchange, they forget that Krishna is the Supreme Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated the boys who play with Krishna are all highly pure souls, and after many, many births, they are able to play with Krishna. Such boys do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. They take him as a personal friend. Therefore, Sukadev Goswami recites this verse. Here is the Supreme Person who is considered the impersonal Brahman by great sages, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by devotees, and a product of material nature by ordinary men. Now, these boys who have performed many, many pious activities in the past lives are playing with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The fact is that the devotees is not concerned with seeing the Vishwa Rupa, the universal form, but Arjuna wanted to see it to substantiate Krishna's statement so that in the future people could understand that Krishna not only theoretically presented himself as the Supreme, but actually revealed himself as the Supreme. The Lord gave Arjuna the necessary power to see his universal form because he knew that Arjuna did not particularly want to see it, as we have already explained.
So you can see here, this universal form is the material form of the Lord. Of course, it is spiritual, but it is manifested in the material world. And to see even that, you must have divine eyes. It is not something that you can just go advertise yourself as an incarnation of God and get away with it. But there are ways to check, you know. If someone claims to be God, then this is how we should check them, whether they can show the universal form, whether they can tell us all their previous births. You understand? So it's not some kind of cheap matter, and more so, he must also be mentioned in the scriptures. Just like Buddha, his name is mentioned. Kalki, who's going to come, end of the universe, I mean the time of Kali Yuga, some 427,000 years from now. His name also is mentioned, how he will come in the village of Sambal. His father is Vishnu Yesya. Father's name is mentioned, village name is mentioned. So this is all ways to prove the authenticity of God, you know. So it is not something whimsical as what's going on now. People have no idea. And anyone who says is God and can give some material benefit, yes, he is accepted as such. And he even goes on with using that word Bhagavan. You know, the word Bhagavan is not, an ordinary so-called word, you know. Bhagavan is used only on person who has opulences. Aishwaryasya, there's a verse on this. Let me take it out. Aishwarya. Aishwarya, you know where this verse is? Anyone?
It is there in the SSR.
What about the CC? Yeah? Aishwaryasya, yasyasya, Sriya. I think Puranam.
Vishnu Purana.
Vishnu Puran. So this verse is from Vishnu Puran, where it says about how Bhagavan has got complete opulence and qualities, like 6 qualities, you know. He has all strength, he has all knowledge, he has all beauty. So he has got all this as deep as an ocean. You know, this is the qualification of God, you know. Let's see where I can get this verse.
Not in.
Not inside the.
No. Too short.
What? So let me find this verse. 5:14:43.
Yeah, 5:14:43.
No, I don't see that as full verse.
Not full verse is not there. Full verse.
Full verse is not there, huh?
No, SSR only there. SS Science of Self.
Okay, let's go. Science of Self-Realization. I think we do that, have the book here. Okay, never mind. We'll go to that
5:14:43.
5:14. So here you can see a quality of God, you know, Bhagavan. Bhagavan means he has got opulence, you know.
Yeah.
So here you can see he has got Aishwaryasya, Samagrasya, Virasya, Yasyasya, Sriha, you know. He has got full wealth, strength, fame, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation. These are the 6 opulence of the personality of God, you know. And he has got them qualities as deep as an ocean. You know, you may have some wealth, someone else may more wealth, but nobody can say he has all the strength. Nobody can say he has all fame. Hmm? So only God can say that. That's why he is called Bhagavan, who is full of Bhaga. Unless one possesses all these opulence, it's difficult to have the title called Bhagavan. It's not some kind of cheap title that anybody and everybody can inherit, because firstly you're not God, To claim yourself as God, then these are the qualifications. Hmm. And then not only that, after showing the universal form, which he did, Arjuna saw the universal form, and he became very much, taken back by the form. In fact, he was very, very frightened by seeing it. Hmm? Seeing he saw, he could describe. See, he saw that, he showed. So Arjuna saw. He's describing what he's seeing, see? Arjuna saw in that universal form unlimited mouth, unlimited eyes, unlimited wonderful vision. The form was decorated with many celestial ornaments and bore many divine upraised weapons. He wore celestial garlands and garments, and many divine scents were smeared over his body. Not only he saw, he also smelled. I mean, it is not just one dimension, no. He was there. There was smell, there was garlands, there was clothing, all is wondrous, brilliant, unlimited, all expanding. That means it's not just limited, it's expanding. So this is the power of God, If hundreds and thousands of suns were to raise at once into the sky, their radiance might resemble the effulgence of the Supreme Person in that universal form. See, another clue, if hundreds and thousands, even one sun we cannot handle, can you imagine hundreds of thousands of suns were to rise at once, at one time? You see how the whole scene, in fact, by seeing this, Arjuna he became very much frightened, He became very much frightened by the scene. At that time, Arjuna could see in the universal form of the Lord the unlimited expansion of the universe situated in one place, although divided into many, many thousands. His hair was standing, you see. That then bewildered and astonished, his hair standing on end, Arjuna bowed his head to offer obeisance, folded hands, began to pray to the Supreme Lord. See, he is convinced. Therefore, he is surrendering and praying, He's saying that I have mistreated you, I acted, I thought you were an ordinary person, I address you as my friend, this and that. Please forgive me. Right? So, try to understand the power of, see, he became so shocked at what he saw. He says, I have addressed you as my friend, thinking you as my friend, I've harshly addressed you, O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, not knowing your glories, please forgive whatever I've done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times, jesting as we relax, laid on the same bed or sat and ate together, sometime alone and sometime from many friends. O infallible one, please excuse me for all those offenses. So you see how he has come to the conclusion of knowing what's his position and who's God, Krishna, See? So this is how God proves himself. It's not that just he comes and he shows some few tricks and that's it, he's taken as God. Not finish. Not finish. You see how Krishna then, Arjuna said, I don't want to see this form, which is very, very frightening. I want to see your four-handed form. See? If you kindly, if you are not talking, you please mute yourself. Huh? Someone can mute them because it's
Already muted.
please help us monitor this.
Yeah.
So, my dear Arjuna, happily I've shown you, the Lord is saying, again, who is this?
I am taking care.
I've shown you my internal potency, this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. So now he saw that, he was very much perturbed. Then he said, I want to see your four-handed form, it's very beautiful to look at. So Krishna then, Sanjaya said to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, having spoken thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-handed form and at last showed his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. So then the Lord showed his two-handed form. Arjuna said, seeing when Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, oh, Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind, I am restored to my original nature. So this is how an avatar proves. Avatar just not that you can brand anybody, any Tom, Dick and Harry as, God and carry on. That is foolishness. He must be recognized by the scriptures. He must be recognized by the guru and by the sadhus. Yeah. And plus he has to even prove himself if he says God. So that's why in Kali Yuga, knowing that this is all going to be messed up, the Lord does not appear in Kali Yuga and say he's God. That's why he's called, another name for him is called Tri-Yugi. Tri-Yugi means he will appear in three yugas. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga. He does not come in Kali Yuga at all. Even he comes, he doesn't say he's God, So there are three yugas for those people who are not knowing. These are the yugas you can see. Someone want to read this? Hello. Any volunteers?
Yes, Prabhu.
Please read.
The duration of the material universe is limited. It is manifested in cycles of kalpas. A kalpa is a day of Brahma, and one day of Brahma consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas or ages: Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion, there being practically no ignorance and vice, and the yuga lasts 70,28,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 12,96,000 years. In the Dwapar Yuga, there is even and greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing, and this yuga lasts 8,64,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,000 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, religion, irreligion and vice, true virtue being practically non-existent, and the yuga lasts 4,32,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vice increases to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as the Kali avatar,
Kalki. Kalki avatar.
Kalki avatar. The vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satyuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years, by Earth calculation, total to 311 trillion. And 40 billion Earth years. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable. But from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as a lightning flash. In the casual ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universe, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord, the management of this service. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Liberated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmalok, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due to course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahmalok are subject to death according to law of material nature.
So try to understand this yoga, Satya Yoga, Trita Yoga, Dwapara Yoga, and Kali Yuga. So we are in Kali Yuga now, which lasts about 432,000 years. And of which only 5,000 years have finished. And Kali Yuga, everything is bad. This yoga, this vice comes in almost 3/4. That means all the good qualities of this yoga is practically gone. People will be very much living in a very disturbed manner. They will be very addicted to sinful life of meat eating, illicit sex, gambling, intoxication. These are it has become an everyday, kind of life. And most of them are totally, what we say, disinterested in any form of religious activity. Can see here, Kali Yuga. This will be the symptom of this age, You want to read this? Anyone else can try, help?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hmm.
In the age of Satya, truthfulness, your 4 legs were established by the 4 principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. But it appears that 3 of your legs are broken due to rampant irreligion in the form of pride, lust for mammon, and intoxication.
These are the 3 things, that people are so much addicted to. Read the purport, please.
Yes, Prabhu. The deluding energy or material nature can act upon the living beings proportionately in terms of the living beings falling prey to the deluding attraction of Maya. Moths are captivated by the glaring brightness of light, and thus they become prey to the fire. Similarly, the deluding energy is always captivating the conditioned souls to become prey to the fire of delusion. And the Vedic scriptures warn the conditioned souls not to become prey to delusion, but to get rid of it. The Vedas warn us to go not to the darkness of ignorance, but to the progressive path of light. The Lord himself also warns that the deluding power of material energy is too powerful to overcome, but that one who completely surrenders onto the Lord can easily do so. But to surrender onto the lotus feet of the Lord is not very easy. Such surrender, such surrender is possible by persons who have cultured transcendental knowledge based on the principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. These four principles of advanced civilization were remarkable features in the age of Satya. In that age, practically every human being was a qualified Brahmana of the highest order, and in the spiritual orders of life, they were all Paramahamsas, or the topmost men of the renounce order. By cultural standing, the human beings were not at all subjected to the deluding energy. Such strong men of character were competent enough to get away from the clutches of Maya. But gradually, as the basic principles of Brahminical culture, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness, became curtailed by proportionate development of pride, attachment for woman, and intoxication, the path of salvation or the path of transcendental bliss retreated far, far away from human society. With the progression of age of Kali, people are becoming very proud, very much attached to women, and increasingly victimized by intoxication. By the influence of age of Kali, even a pauper is proud of his penny. The women are always dressed in an overly attractive fashion to victimize the minds of men, and men are addicted to drinking wine, smoking, drinking tea, chewing tobacco, etc. All these habits, or so-called advancement of civilization, are the root causes of all irreligiosities, and therefore it is not possible to check corruption, bribery, and nepotism. You can check all these. You can check all these evils simply by statutory acts and police vigilance. You have to cure the disease of mind by the proper medicine, namely advocating the principles of Brahminical culture or the principles of austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The modern civilization based on economic development is creating a new situation of poverty and scarcity with the result of blackmailing the consumers' commodities. If the leaders and the rich men of the society spend 50% of their accumulated wealth mercifully for the misled mass of people and educate them in God consciousness, the knowledge of the Bhagavatam, certainly the age of Kali will be defeated in its attempt to entrap and victimize the conditioned souls. We must always remember that false pride or too high an estimation of one's own values of life, undue attachment to women or association with them, and intoxication of any kind will divert human civilization from the path of peace, however much the people clamor for peace in the world. The preaching of the Bhagavatam principles will automatically render all men austere, clean both inside and outside, merciful to the suffering, and truthful in daily behavior. That is the way of correcting the flaws of human society, which are very prominently exhibited at the present moment.
So you can see how Kali Yuga is practically, what we say, destroying all the good qualities. Carry on reading.
You are now standing on one leg only, which is your truthfulness, and you are somehow or the other hobbling along. But quarrel personified Kali, flourishing by deceit, is also trying to destroy that leg.
Mm.
The principles of religion do not stand on some dogmas or man-made formulas, but they stand on four primary regulative observances, namely austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. The mass of people must be taught to practice these principles from childhood. Austerity means to accept voluntarily things which may not be very comfortable for the body but are conducive for spiritual realization. Fasting, for example. Fasting twice or 4 times a month is a sort of austerity which may be voluntarily accepted for spiritual realization only and not for other purposes, political or otherwise. Fastings which are meant not for self-realization but for some other purposes are condemned in the Bhagavad Gita 17.56. Similarly, cleanliness is necessary for both the mind and the body. Simply bodily cleanliness may help to some extent, but cleanliness of the mind is necessary, and it is affected by glorifying the Supreme Lord. No one can cleanse the accumulated mental dust without glorifying the Supreme Lord. A godless civilization cannot cleanse the mind because it has no idea of God. And for this simple reason, people under such a civilization cannot have good qualifications. However, they may be materially equipped. We have to see things by the resultant action. The resultant action of human civilization in the age of Kali is dissatisfaction. So everyone is anxious to get peace of mind. Peace of mind was complete in the Satya Yuga because of the existence of the above mentioned attributes of the human beings. Gradually, these attributes have diminished in the Treta Yuga to 3/4 in the Dwapara and to half, and in this age of Kali to 1/4, which is also gradually diminishing on account of prevailing untruthfulness. By pride, either artificial or real, the resultant action of austerity is spoiled. By too much affection for female association, cleanliness is spoiled. By too much addiction to intoxication, mercy is spoiled. By too much lying. Too much lying propaganda, truthfulness is spoiled. The revival of Bhagavata Dharma can save human civilization from falling prey to evils of all description.
So Kali Yuga is taking the toll on everybody's life. So all these bad qualities are coming. So to stop all this thing, the Lord, after he left, he has, tried to help everybody. He has descended in the form of this Bhagavata Puran,
This Bhagavata Purana is brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana.
So you see how this Kali Yuga can be checked.
Yes, true. Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal dharma or abode where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia. And his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his external energy. When he descends to the material world, he displays himself with all paraphernalia in his internal potency, which is called Atma Maya. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya. His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to re-establish courts of religion, which are directly enacted by him. Except for God, no one can establish the principles of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relationship with him, and our duties and relationship with him, and to know ultimately our destination after leaving this material body. Conditioned souls who are entrapped by the material energy hardly know all these principles of life. Most of them are like animals, engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. They are mostly engaged in sense enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge, or salvation. They are still more blind in the present age of quarrel or Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal edition of the animals. They have nothing to do with spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the needs of the body. They have no information of the spirit soul beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego. And they're very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material prosperity. They can risk their lives to become a dog or a hog just after leaving the present body, for they have completely lost sight of the ultimate aim of life. The personality of God Sri Krishna appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga, and he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all the pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus both the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam are like torch bearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. The Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Bhagavatam, and the Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life, Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can see also Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical.
So you see how in Kali Yuga, the avatar is to take direction from the books, Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So it says here in this verse, he has descended in the form of this book to help give some light, This Bhagavata Purana is as brilliant as the sun. It has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna at his own abode. Accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to dense darkness or ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Yeah? And not only that, getting light from this Purana, the Lord has also descended in Kali Yuga, as brought by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is says here. Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nama Haite Haya Sarva Jagat Nistara. In this age of Kali, the holy name of the Lord, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, is the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Simply by chanting the holy name, one associates with the Lord directly. Anyone who does this is certainly delivered. So in Kali Yuga, this is the incarnation. The incarnation in Kali Yuga, the avatar of Kali Yuga, is the holy name of the Lord. So in the holy name of the Lord, anybody can chant. And the moment you chant the holy name, you are delivered. See, anyone who does this is certainly delivered, This is the power of the holy name. We are not chanting some ordinary name. The name of the Lord and the Lord himself are non-different. Says here, Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rashtra Vigraha. So the Lord and his name are non-different. Someone who thinks that they are different He's making a mistake, you know. What happened here? So here, Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purno Suddha Nitya Mukto Abhinatvam Nama Namino Ho. The holy name of Krishna is transcendently blissful. It bestows all spiritual benediction, for it is Krishna himself, the reservoir of all pleasure. Krishna's name is complete, and his form, it is the form of all transcendental mellows. It is not a material name. See, it is this name that you're chanting, because it is the name of God, is not a material name. See? Under any condition, it is no less powerful than Krishna. Just like if I chant apple, 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 I don't get to taste the fruit apple. It is not the same. But when you chant Krishna's name, you are actually relishing Krishna's presence himself. See? Since Krishna's name is not contaminated by material qualities, there is no question of it being involved with Maya. Krishna's name is always liberated and spiritual. It is never conditioned by the laws of material nature. This is because the name of Krishna and Krishna himself are identical. See? This is from Padma Puran. But try to understand that in this age, the avatar is the holy name, and the Srimad Bhagavatam, the holy book. So if you can take shelter of these two things, then you are with the avatar of Krishna. And you will be guided properly. Otherwise, Kali, to fight Kali is impossible. Kali Yuga is impossible to fight Kali Yuga with any kind of yoga and any kind of other activities is practically impossible. So in Kali Yuga, the only name is Harinam, 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 you know. You can see here. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasteva, Nasteva, Nasteva Gatiranyata. In this age of Kali, there is no other means, no other means, no other means of self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, Lord Hari. So in Kali Yuga, you cannot do this karma yoga, you cannot do this dhyana yoga, you cannot do this mystic yoga. All these things are not possible. The only way possible is to take shelter of the holy name. By chanting the holy name, very quickly you will get shelter of Krishna. He says here, very quickly you will get the shelter of Krishna. Krishna's name is so powerful. It is not an ordinary, kind of a name. It has got all the potencies of Krishna. Krishna's name, and he says this now, and Krishna himself, they're non-different. That's why when you chant Krishna's name, Krishna is already there with you in your mouth, So when you call for Krishna, Krishna manifests himself. So therefore, we should try to understand how powerful Krishna is. So try to take advantage of this chanting of Krishna name. All the sins can get wiped out just by chanting this one name of Krishna. It's simply by chanting one holy name of Hari, a sinful man can counteract the reaction to more sins than is able to commit. Brahad Vishnu Puran. So Krishna's name is not some lightweight thing. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, even in a helpless condition or without desiring to do so, all the reactions of a sinful life depart. Just as when a lion roars, all the small animals flee in fear. And by one chanting the holy name of the Lord, which consists of two syllables, Hari, one guarantees his path to liberation, this is Skanda Puranam. And of course, we have seen in the life of Ajamil, he did so much of sinful activities, and practically he was going to go to hell. The Yamadutas came to take him away. They were on the path to take him off, but chanted the name, calling his son, although he was not meaning to call the Lord, because he was trying to, because he was so frightened, he saw his son standing nearby, he called for him, and soon as he called for him, he was delivered, no? Yes. So you see, this is the power of the holy name of the Lord. Holy name of the Lord is not some lightweight thing, as I've said. It is so powerful. Says here that even if you do offenses in chanting, even you do mistakes, you do so many things, still. Considering all this point, therefore, intelligent man decide to solve all problems by adopting the devotional service of chanting the holy name of the Lord, who is situated in everyone's heart and who is a mind of all auspicious quality. Such persons are not within my jurisdiction for punishment. Generally, they never commit any sinful activity. But even if by mistake or because of bewilderment or illusion, they commit sometimes sinful acts, they are protected from sinful reaction because they always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So try to understand this point. Yeah. So even you commit sinful activities, you are not subject to punishment if you chant the holy name of the Lord. For the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the only medicine to save us in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, there's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way at all. If anybody wants to get himself delivered, then chanting is the only method recommended. If a person doesn't chant, then his life is going to be in very much messed up. And as soon as you chant Krishna's name, Krishna is very kind that he immediately, kind of shows you his lotus feet, Krishna's lotus feet, if you get, then you consider spiritually as very successful. Anyone who can meditate on the Lord's lotus feet is said to be very successful in spiritual life. So try to understand. Here it says, so rather than worrying of an avatar in Kali Yuga, best is to take shelter of this chanting. Simply by chanting the holy name of Krishna, one can obtain freedom from material existence. Indeed, simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, one will be able to see the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, if you can capture the lotus feet of the Lord, then you consider it very, very successful. In this age of Kali, there is no religious principle other than chanting of the holy name, which is the essence of all Vedic hymns. This is the purport of all scriptures. That's why if any of these avatars were ever to come and tell you anything, and if they don't teach you about chanting, then I don't think they are accepted. For spiritual progress in this age of Kali, there's no alternative, there's no alternative, there's no alternative to the holy name, the holy name, the holy name of the Lord. So please take it very seriously. If you want to know about anything about avatar, this is the only avatar, Krishna's name, Since I've received this order from my spiritual master, I always chant the holy name. When I thought by chanting and chanting the holy name, I had been bewildered. Why has been bewildered? While chanting the holy name of the Lord in pure ecstasy, I lose myself and thus I cry. I laugh, cry, dance, and sing just like a madman. And collecting my patience, therefore, I began to consider that chanting the holy name of Krishna had covered all my spiritual knowledge. I saw that I became mad by chanting the holy name and I immediately submitted this at the lotus feet of my spiritual master. So any doubts, he has to go to a guru. My dear Lord, what kind of mantra have you given me? I have become mad simply by chanting this Maha Mantra. And chanting the holy name in ecstasy caused me to dance, cry and laugh. My spiritual master heard all this, he smiled and then began to speak. It is the nature of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra that anyone who chants it immediately develops his loving ecstasy for Krishna. You see this point? Anyone who chants without any offenses immediately develops loving ecstasy for Krishna. It's so powerful. Even if the avatar comes and you don't take shelter like Krishna came, not many people know he was God. Krishna make conditions, you first surrender to me. But here, if anyone just chants, and immediately he will develop ecstasy for Krishna. There is no, hard and fast rules for chanting. Whereas to go to an avatar, there needs firstly qualification. Secondly, you have to go and surrender first. And then he said, then you get, him to give you instruction. So all these things are very long-winded. But if you can just start from today, take it, that Krishna's name, avatar, and chant, your life will become successful. See? Can anyone read this purport? Please help.
Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. In this verse, it is explained that one who chants the Hare Krishna mantra develops bhava, ecstasy, which is the point at which revelation begins. It is the preliminary stage in developing one's original love for God. Lord Krishna mentions this bhava stage in Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. A neophyte disciple begins by hearing and chanting, associating with devotees and practicing the regulative principles, and thus he vanquishes all of his unwanted bad habits. In this way, he develops attachment for Krishna and cannot forget Krishna even for a moment. Bhava is the almost successful stage for spiritual life. A sincere student orally receives the holy name from the spiritual master, and after being initiated, he follows the regulative principles given by the spiritual master. When the holy name is properly served in this way, automatically the spiritual nature of the holy name spreads. In other words, the devotee becomes qualified in offenselessly chanting the holy name. When one is completely fit to chant the holy name in this way, he is eligible to make disciples all over the world. And he actually becomes Jagat Guru. Then the entire world under his influence begins to chant the holy names of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Thus, all the disciples of such a spiritual master increase in attachment for Krishna. And therefore, he sometimes cries, sometimes laughs, sometimes dances, and sometimes chants. These symptoms are very prominently manifest in the body of a pure devotee. Sometimes when our students of the Krishna consciousness movement chant and dance, even in India, people are astonished to see how these foreigners have learned to chant and dance in this ecstatic fashion. As explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, actually this is not due to practice. For without extra endeavor, these symptoms become manifest in anyone who sincerely chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Many fools, not knowing the transcendental nature of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, sometimes impede our loudly chanting this mantra. Yet one who is actually advanced in the fulfillment of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra induces others to chant also. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains, Krishna Sakti Vina Nahi Tara Pravartana. Unless one receives special power of attorney from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he cannot praise the glories of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. As devotees propagate the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the general population of the entire world gets the opportunity to understand the glories of the holy name. While chanting and dancing or hearing the holy name of the Lord, one automatically remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And because there is no difference between holy name and Krishna, the chanter is immediately linked with Krishna. Thus connected, a devotee develops his original attitude of service to the Lord. In this attitude of constantly serving Krishna, which is called bhava, he always thinks of Krishna in many different ways. One who has attained this bhava stage is no longer under the clutches of the illusory energy. When other spiritual ingredients such as trembling, perspiration, and tears are added to this bhava stage, the devotee gradually attains love of Krishna. The holy name of Krishna is called the Mahamantra. Other mantras mentioned in the Narad Pancharatra are known simply as mantras. But the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is called the Mahamantra.
So try to understand how everything works, It's not that simply, we have to wait for an avatar or whatever. We have to actually understand all these things based on sadhu, shastra, and guru. So the avatar of this Kali Yuga is to take shelter of the holy name of the Lord. Then yes, you become successful. You get tears flowing from your eyes. You will be able to see the lotus feet And when you keep meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord constantly, then all your dirty things in the heart, they go away. Hmm? Can you continue reading?
Yes, Lord. When one seriously engages in the devotional service of the personality of Godhead, fixing the Lord's lotus feet within one's heart as the only goal of life, one can destroy the innumerable impure desires lodged within the heart as a result of one's previous fruitive work within the three modes of material nature. When the heart is thus purified, one can directly perceive both the Supreme Lord and one's self as transcendental entities. Thus, one becomes perfect in spiritual understanding through direct experience, just as one can directly experience the sunshine through normal, healthy vision.
So that is the goal, once you capture the Lord, then yes, you have complete success. Seeing the lotus feet of the Lord means no more seeing birth and death. The cycle of birth and death is stopped just by coming in contact with Krishna. So this is the real goal. Hmm? This is the object of our spiritual life. Please read.
The real problem of life is the repetition of birth and death, which is like a wheel rolling repeatedly up and down. This wheel, however, completely stops when one is in touch with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, by the transcendental bliss realized from constant engagement in devotional service, one is completely liberated from material existence. All learned men know this. Therefore, my dear friends, O sons of the Asuras, immediately begin meditating upon and worshipping the Supersoul within everyone's heart.
This is the success. So, anybody has any questions up to now? Huh? Any questions? Other questions on this matter? Hello.
Prabhu, I have one question. Prabhu, Krishna is the source of all the thing and all the Vishnus. But one thing that makes me confused is why is Krishna mentioned as Avatara in Bhagavatam, Prabhu, in out of the 24 avatars?
I don't understand your question. You want to say it again?
Sure. So, uh, Krishna is the source of the Vishnus, but my main confusion is that why is Krishna mentioned as an avatara out of all, among the 24 avatars, avatars of Lord Krishna?
Krishna is avatar of Lord Vishnu.
No. I mean to say that despite being the Supreme Lord in Bhagavad, why is Krishna mentioned as avatara among the 24 avatars?
Actually, Krishna is mentioned in this verse. I think it's this verse. No. Give me a minute. Krishna is mentioned here as the Etachamsa kala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam.
1338.
1-3, huh? Oh, got 13. So here in this verse, 1-3-38. No, this is not the verse. Etachamsa kala pumsam 28.
Yeah.
No, 1-3-28. I thought it was 38. Okay, this is the verse you see here. This is how Krishna is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Etachamsa kala pumsham Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mriddayanti Yuge Yuge. You want to read this, sir?
Okay, Prabhu. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portion of plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appears on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect the theist.
So this is the difference between Krishna and all. Krishna is here called as Swayam Bhagavan, you know. Although there are many incarnations and all that, but Krishna is not, you know, he is the supreme personality of Godhead from whom all others manifest themselves. You understand? And see here in the purport, the whole thing explains about Krishna's quality, the purport. See, there are different grades, you know, like Lord, living entity can have 78%, and the Krishna has got complete 64 qualities, you know, 64 principal attributes. Krishna has got 64 principal qualities, you know, full, whereas others can only have certain percentage. Lord Shiva, I see here, Lord Shiva, Vishnu have got up to, see, Vishnu avatar has got up to 93%. Lord Shiva has got up to 84%. And then Lord Brahma, the most he can get is up to 78%. But Krishna is 100%. Krishna is 100% of this attribute. So he is not, you know, an ordinary avatar. In fact, his another name is not avatar. He actually is called an avatari, from whom every avatar comes. So there's a difference, you know. So we must try to understand this accordingly. Then we know truly how Krishna's position is. Understand? Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
So try to know Krishna's unique position. That's why the Lord Brahma says here also, same point. In the Bhagavad Gita, we have this verse. I think it's 2:2, is it? Yeah. See, Krishna is saying here, I'm sorry, Brahma is saying, Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagavan, but Krishna is the supreme. But Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person, his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is the primeval Lord Govinda and the cause of all causes. See that? So Krishna's position is unique, you know. Nobody is above him, nobody is equal to him. So try to understand, although sometimes he says an avatar, but actually he descends in his complete form, Sampurna Bhagavan. So Krishna is not any of this equal to any of this lesser avatar. Krishna is in fact the Swayam Bhagavan, Purna Purusha. It's not, and in any way, some kind of other expansions of Krishna. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
So even what's his name, Arjuna also does not make the mistake in the Bhagavad Gita. His address you see here. You see the words are used. Param Brahma. You are Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paraman Bhavan, Purusham Saswatam Divyam, Adi Devam, again, Ajam Vibhum. So all this verse has got significance, See? She said, you are the supreme Brahman, truth. You are the supreme substance, Pavitram, pure, Paramam, supreme, Bhavan, you, Purusham, personality. See? Arjuna said, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages as Narada, Sita, Devala, and Vyasa confirmed this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring to me. You understand? So try to understand Krishna's position. Krishna's position is incomparable. Krishna's position is, you cannot at any time equate him as any kind of ordinary person. It's also say here in another place here, in the Brahma Samhita, you can see in this verse, here, Deeparjeva dasataram abhupyetya Deepayate vibhata hetu samana dharman yastra Sayastadrak eva hecha vishnutaya vibhati govendamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. See, the light of one candle being communicated to other candles, although it burns separately in them, is the same in its quality. I adore the primal Lord Govinda who exhibits himself equally in the same mobile manner in his various manifestations. Although from one candle, so many other candles are lit, but still that one candle that started all the other light is the original candle. So that is comparable to Krishna. From Krishna, so many avatars are coming out, but still Krishna is that one original personality. Swayam Bhagavan. You understand? So this is how we understand Krishna's unique position. Yes? Hello.
Yes, Prabhu.
Who's this?
Rishik.
Huh? What's your name?
Rishik, Prabhu.
Parikshit, huh?
Rishik Pandey.
Rishit, huh? Oh. Where are you calling from? I mean, where are you coming from, sir?
I'm from Nepal, Prabhu.
Very nice. You understand now?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hello?
Yes, Prabhu.
Very good. So any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Danda from on.
Yes.
Prabhupada taught us to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. But there are some people who chant Hare Rama first and then they chant the Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada said there's no difference,
Okay.
Either you say this way or that way, you end up saying the same way,
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
But please say, huh? That's more important, huh?
Yes, Prabhu.
Either you say this way or that way, but please say, huh? Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Oh, so it doesn't matter. Chanting is the only way in Kali Yuga. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Dandavat
Yes.
Pranam.
Yes.
I have a question. That Prabhu, sometimes this material beauty seems to be so much attractive that we helplessly get attracted towards that, and even though we are knowing the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, since that gets covered, and helplessly we are always thinking of that person or whoever we think is much more beautiful. So how do we get rid of this, Prabhu? It is seeming very difficult.
Yeah. When the senses act with the sense object and attraction develop in the heart, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So the only way is to bring Krishna. I don't know why there's so much. The only way is to bring Krishna into this thought. If this person is so beautiful, how much more beautiful Krishna would be who created this person? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
So if you can bring Krishna into your thought, then you get freed from this kind of contamination. Only Krishna can defeat this Maya. So the whole idea is to how to bring Krishna inside. That is what we are forgetting. You understand?
Yes, Prabhu.
The moment this Maya comes and you forget Krishna, then Maya will overwhelm your consciousness. Yes?
Yeah.
But the moment you bring Krishna into that, if you are trained to always bring Krishna into your mind, then this Maya will be no more, what we say, it becomes like a snake's broken fangs, Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
So that is the key. That's why it is called the Society for Krishna Consciousness.
Consciousness.
So whole idea is to make ourselves Krishna conscious. That is how we are trained. So yes, you want to unmute yourself, please. Hello. Hello. You want to unmute yourself because it's creating a disturbance. And then I can explain. When you are not talking, you just unmute yourself.
Yeah,
So the moment you are able to bring Krishna into your consciousness, then Maya will have no more, what we say, will not create any disturbance. You understand? This is the secret of Krishna consciousness, And show you one verse here, then how you explain this point. This is what actually is going on. Because moment we go with Maya, then Maya will, overtake all our intelligence of everything, Okay.
And then in the bill reference number, you just say Janmashtami or just say Krishna 2021 gold.
See here. Can you read this, my dear Prabhu?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. The mind of one meditating upon the objects of sense gratification is certainly entangled in such objects, but if one constantly remembers me, then the mind is absorbed in me.
Yes.
Shall I read? Okay.
No, it's all right. Just read the verse only. Huh? So you see how if you can bring your mind to Krishna, then it is settled, you know. Yes. Isn't it? And that is what we have to train ourselves to, you know. That's the whole idea. If we try to not remember Krishna and we try to go with Maya, huh, then we will become overwhelmed. Hey, can you read?
Yes, Prabhu. Therefore, one should reject all material processes of elevation, which are like the mental creations of a dream, and should completely absorb one's mind in me. By constantly thinking of me, one becomes purified.
Right? My voice also says here. Understand this? Read this. Hello, please read.
One should give up association with women and those, being conscious of the eternal self, one should give up association with women and those intimately associated with women. Sitting fearlessly in a solitary place, one should concentrate the mind on me with great attention. That's true. Of all kinds of suffering and bondage arising from various attachments, none is greater than the suffering and bondage arising from attachment to women or from intimate contact with those attached to women.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So this is the secret of spiritual advancement. How much you can bring your attention to Krishna.
Yes,
but if you let your mind rove and you're just not really serious about it, you are so attracted to the woman's, bodily conscious, then you see Maya, will overwhelm you and finish. Can you read?
Yes, Prabhu. The illusory material nature attracts the minute living entity to embrace her, and as a result, he assumes forms composed of her qualities. Subsequently, he loses all his spiritual qualities and must undergo repeated deaths. Yeah.
So not only you get carried away, you lose all your whatever spiritual strength you got also will be gone. Just like Ajamil, you see, he fell down. He lost all his Brahminical quality, correct?
Yes,
so please try to understand. It is not that sometimes some devotees think that, hello, sometimes some devotees, Hare Krishna. Can you help please mute them?
Yeah, muted.
So sometimes the devotees think that now, I am very much steady, I'm chanting, I've controlled my mind. So it is not so easy, You have to be very careful with this mind. It is explained here. Everything is explained very carefully. At no time you should try to think that this mind is some kind of lightweight entity, Okay. Can you read this again, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Srila Shukadev Goswami replied, "My dear king, you have spoken correctly. However, after capturing animals, a cunning hunter does not put faith in them for they might run away. Similarly, those who are advanced in spiritual life do not put faith in the mind. Indeed, they always remain vigilant and watch the mind's action.
You understand? Hmm?
Yes,
So you cannot take this mind, in full confidence. Any moment it can sweep you away. Happen to great personalities. What is big of you and me? Huh? Read.
all the learned scholars have given their opinion. The mind is by nature very restless, and one should not make friends with it. If we place full confidence in the mind, it may cheat us at any moment. Even Lord Shiva became agitated upon seeing the Mohini form of Lord Krishna. And Saubhadi Muni also fell down from the mature stage of yogic perfection.
Right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So we should be very careful. So the best way is to actually strictly follow the morning program of waking up, chanting, following the four principles, taking only Krishna Prasadam. If we strictly follow this, then we will be able to get strength, Correct?
Yes.
But if you are always mingling with women, then it's going to be a problem, no? Yes?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, I have one follow-up question. Mind gives different excuses. Like sometimes it says that for a time being, forget about Krishna, do sense gratification, then afterward continue with your Krishna consciousness.
Yeah,
So
like you can just become an Ajamil, carry on in next life. Maybe by the time you could die, you chant Narayana and go back, no?
So how to convince our mind to stay in track?
That's why you have to hear the Bhagavatam, you have to read, associate with devotees, reveal your mind. Yeah, all these rules are there, no? Especially revealing your mind is very important, no? One aspect of making advancement is to reveal your mind and inquire confidentially. Why you have to reveal your mind? Because if you reveal your mind, you will expose all these things your mind is trying to tell you, no? Yes?
Yes, true.
So, but if you don't reveal your mind and keep everything and always confiding with your mind, then that's it. One day it all will erupt. Correct? Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
So therefore, we should be very, very, very careful. Already we made mistake listening to our mind. We have now fallen down and got this material body. Again and again, we want to put confidence in our mind.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu. So how to stop the chattering of our mind?
First thing is that you should try to have association of devotees.
Okay.
And then you should take directions from them. And then, of course, you should get connected to Prabhupada.
Yes.
Then everything will come one after the other.
Okay.
By the mercy of the Guru.
Yes.
But if you don't have that connection and you don't have that direction, you simply go on with your own mental strength, definitely you will have a lot of problems. Material energy, Maya, is not easy to overcome, no? Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So you have to follow the direction. Take shelter of a spiritual master, and in this way you will get the strength to overcome the three modes of material nature. So your whole objective is to somehow or other take shelter of Prabhupada. Yes? Yes or not?
Yes, yes, yes.
This is the only way. There's no other way to this, you see. One must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness, and then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Suddha Sattva. All this, all this can be done automatically if one engage in the service of the spiritual master with faith and devotion. Yes?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So this is the secret. And once you get the spiritual master, then you will get strength from Krishna. Otherwise, very difficult, no? Correct. You're going to your university, I'm sure you will see so much of challenges. Yes? Well, you can try to be a yogi there. Good luck. Huh? Yes? Any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? This is a practical thing, you know. Krishna consciousness not impractical. You are taught how to overcome Maya. And there everybody is facing Maya. Everywhere is Maya. Yes? So whatever you learn and practice, you are practically tested every moment. Correct?
Yes.
So if you're intelligent, you'll always capture the Lord. You're keeping the Lord in your mind. And if you keep doing that, then yes, you can overcome all these difficulties. But if you don't do that and you enjoy the sight of Maya, then you will be overwhelmed. That is the science. There's no two way about it. Either you are in Maya or you're in Krishna. There's no in between. Yes? What? No answer from anybody?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
So I guess I ask Mr. Viswambar to.
Yeah, thank you very much for enlightening class. Enlightened class. So Hare Krishna. Also, we have a feedback session. So we can see that first of all, thank you for attending the class session. Very, very enlightening, engaging, enriching session. We learned a lot things from Prabhu. So now some new Prabhus have joined also. They have been regularly coming, like Rishik Pandey, Prabhu, then our yes. So we would like to know from all this new Chitra Mataji also, Nandini Mataji, and all of you can tell us your feedback. How did you like the classes session, and what is your feedback? You can start with Anubhav is there, Anubhav Prabhu. Then there's so many other Prabhu, new Prabhu has joined and has been coming regularly. Rishik Prabhu also joined from Nepal. Satyam Prabhu, Vijay Prabhu, Vijay Sharma Prabhu, Chitra Mataji also, and Nandini Mataji, so many other Mataji, Vijay Prabhu. So I would like to know about the feedback. Please give us your feedback about the session. Yes, Prabhu, Satyam Prabhu. Yeah.
Yes, so it was a amazing session. Means we many concepts we were having means doubt. So it got clear and very direct answers we got, and so it was nice that we were having direct answers directly from Srila Prabhupada's books. So, so that is my feedback.
Thank you, thank you. And which part of India you come from? Satyam Prabhu?
I'm from Guwahati, Assam.
Guwahati, Assam.
Yeah.
So Rishik Prabhu, your feedback, please.
Sure, thank you. So first of all, for me, this Q&A session has been really helpful because in my area, there is hardly anyone who knows about dharma, and for me, this is the best place to learn. And yeah, I've been learning a lot, and this is my third class. So yeah, I'm very happy to be associated with devotees like all of you. So yeah, and Prabhu, I have a request.
Yeah.
Last time I had requested about the Sankhya philosophy's link. Can you please provide me again? I lost that link.
Yeah, sure. So I will be sending you the Sankhya philosophy. Yeah, Canto 3 of Bhagavatam. Yes, sure. Yeah, and thank you very much, Rishik Prabhu. We will be also starting a new. You are from Nepal. Which part of Nepal?
Prabhu, I am from Kathmandu.
Oh. So I don't know if Prabhu wants there, he can also start a center in Kathmandu so that he will have a good association. You will have a good association. So we will keep in the mind. Thank you, sir. Please attend regularly and associate with devotees so you can further proceed in Krishna advance in Krishna consciousness. Yeah.
You have other people there in Kathmandu, or you are alone there?
No, I don't. For me, I only know. I don't know others who are associated with ISKCON from Kathmandu.
What are you doing there?
Sorry, Prabhu.
What is your profession?
Actually, I'm a student, Prabhu.
Oh, you're a student also, huh?
I just passed my 10th standard.
Oh, very nice. So you try if you can enroll some more like-minded people to come on board, huh? You'll be very productive.
Sure, Prabhu. I would.
They will also take the advantages here. Yeah.
Try to share the videos with others, Yes?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you very much for your support.
Yeah. So we have others, Prabhus and Matajis also. So we have a Chitra Mataji from Calcutta. Very interested, very regular also. So
you can say some words.
Yeah, sure.
Where is she? I don't see her. Oh yeah, she's here. Chitra.
He's from Calcutta, so very interested. He's a yoga teacher. And
oh, she's a yoga teacher.
Yeah, she has been regularly attending classes. Yeah.
What is realization?
Yeah,
No realization. Hello.
So we have other Mataji also, other Prabhus. So we have Vijay Prabhu, Vijay Sharma Prabhu is there. And
where's he from? He can say a few words.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Oh.
It's me from UK.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Vijay. How are you doing?
right, thank you. Yes, thank you. All right, thank you. Just came along because I want to hear from you and hear your class, which is very nice and easy to understand and follow. And thank you very much for that. And I try and join whenever I can. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please help bring more people on board.
Yes, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So we have other Mataji also, Priyanka Mataji, and if they can speak something about their feedback.
Where's she from, Priyanka? Hello. Not saying anything, huh? I don't know. All right, so I guess who is this Sivananda Sentil? Someone, you know?
No, yes, Sivanand Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Sivanand Sonti, huh? Where's she from?
I'm in Singapore, Prabhu. I've been attending temple classes.
Oh, you're from Singapore, huh?
Yeah.
Sivanand Prabhu, Citibank.
Oh, okay. Very nice. I'm sorry, I don't recognize you. So how you like the program?
Very nice, Prabhu. Easy to understand and follow. So I try to take some time and join even though I'm late because I work late in the afternoon shift. So thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I guess who's Nagaraju? That's how Nanda Kumar.
Yes, Nanda Kishore.
Oh, Nanda Kishore. So good. Rosemary Gundram, how are you? Hello. Looks like everybody is here and not here.
No, now they have
Ayo, there. Okay, Hare Krishna. How you like the session?
Very nice, as usual, Prabhu. Is very much enlightening. Thank you for the time.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think most of the others are all devotees, huh?
Yeah.
Who is not regular here? Who else?
They have mute, some of the muted is there 2, 3. So
who is Anubhava Venkatasi? Was this Mr. Anubhava?
Yeah. Anubhava Venkatasi. He has been also coming for regularly.
Did he say anything? Anubhava's Prabhu? Also not saying.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I have to thank all of you for your valuable time with us. Thank you also for giving me a chance to be of some service to all of you. Hare Krishna, all glories to Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.